Okay.
Now it's time for MeTube.
Oh.
Enough about you.
Yeah.
Now it's time for me.
All right, folks. Thank you for your patience. We're officially going to get this live starting right about. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
And we're coming to you live from a couple of places on the internet. We're live over on Crowdcast. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Maybe you're listening to the audio podcast later, wherever you get your fine audio podcasts. It is all good. And folks, we're all here tonight. We're all very excited to be here on this January evening.
Pristine internet. And I just want to say, Pete's held the big beard on Comic Book Club for some time, but I'm coming for him.
Yeah,
I'm coming for him.
Take it easy, guy. Take it easy, Patches Malone over there. Take it easy.
Patches? They call me Patches. Yes. I'm coming for you.
It's good. Are you going for the whole, like, are you going to grow a whole, Jack from Twitter is literally the only guy I could think of.
Oh, yuck. Alex, no. Yeah, I want to definitely just cosplay as Jack from Twitter.
Oh, that's good. You're getting ready for your Halloween costume next year.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got some Doctor Strange vibes going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Should we do that? Should we all try to get some sort of comic book beards going on? Justin, you can go for Doctor Strange. What could I do? I could do...
shave it.
The oldest...
Shave? Is that what you
Wow,
said?
slam. I'm going to say the oldest man, Logan.
Oh. Well, I don't like how this is going. Why don't we bring in our guest this evening? He is the creator of a new book called Space Pilots, which is currently on Kickstarter. Eddie Klinker, come on down to the stage. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming. I love this project. It's very fun. It launched, as of right now, you have 17 days to go. And you are at. Wait, I'm going to refresh this just to make sure I don't have it.
If you announce that, if we hit it, you would be the first to announce
it. You did it. I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, that would be great.
But you're very close. You have a $2,100 goal. You're currently at $2,030.
Oh, so close.
So I feel like
that's $5 more than last time I checked.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
If we turn this into a fundraiser, we could start giving out tote bags. We could probably get your
absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
Tote bags? Okay. I'll start working on the totes.
Yeah, you're down in a basement. There's probably thread.
Yeah, I was going to shout out your spot there, JT Sizzle.
Yeah. Thank you for using my given name. And yes, this is my dark
murder
that
basement.
I crawl into.
Yeah. I picture the person in the Blair Witch in the corner.
Yeah. I know,
she's coming on. She's coming on later in the show, so I don't want to spoil this.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Let's talk about your book, though. This is a great book, very fun. As the title implies, you got some space pilots, you got some space hijinks going on. Talk to us.
Space love.
Give us the pitch for the project.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. So Space Pilots was born from me hating my day job. Essentially, I can sum up Space Pilots in that it is the day job to stick it to the man. Quit your job. The tagline is quit your job, steal a spaceship, and cause chaos. And we follow our two friends, Ship and Mooney, who have found themselves a part of the Earth Space Mining Corps, a branch of Earth as we go out into space and we mine for new materials and new resources. They are on the ship with an asshole captain, and I can curse. I forgot the rules are I can curse, and that's great because I am a sailor. So they stick it to their asshole captain who they can't stand working for, and they steal his top of the line speeder spaceship and do whatever they can to get the hell out of his tyranny and his get off of the ship. And the hard part is that he's got a tracker on the ship, and they can catch them wherever they go. So,
the old tracker, yeah.
Just like all day jobs.
Just like all day jobs, they know where you are at all times. They look at what you're doing. So really what this is just exploring what it would be like to finally say, you know what, job? Screw you, I'm out of here, and doing whatever you can to get it. So,
catch me if you can.
Absolutely. Catch me if you can. It's like, I kind of pitched it as like a Guardians of the Galaxy meets Voltron meets, just a buddy cop Two doofuses. Nice. Our two friends are really just two idiots, and I couldn't relate more.
Well, as Pete mentioned, and I can turn it over to Pete to talk a little bit more about this, there's also some very sweet romance in this book as well. Can you talk about that part a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I really like to write from a spot of where we focusing on the characters and that we have these fun romps and these fun adventures in this, but really, you know, I wanted to focus in that Mooney is a very, as you see that the man with the bright orange Goku hair, that's one of our main characters, Mooney, and he's a very torn person who, you know, struggles with emotional relationships and really wanted to kind of focus in on what it would be like for somebody who maybe kind of bounces from opportunity to opportunity and really struggles with kind of like committing to something and what it would look like from him to be able to just leave it all behind and, you know, kind of be his MO as he just, once something gets a little bit too serious, he leaves. And so kind of looking at that character of Mooney, that's really why I wanted to focus in on and start the story with looking at his romantic relationships and why he just kind of decided to leave it because he's kind of the person that gets really scared when something gets very serious and kind of influences him to then be the person that wants to also leave the ship because it gets too serious. And so he's kind of like, that's the personality that I wanted to really highlight. And with this romantic relationship, it's sad what he does because his boyfriend in this is very, very sweet and very open and very vulnerable. And we kind of see the faults that Mooney has right away, which I thought was really interesting to kind of explore.
Yeah, that's a heck of a place to start. You know, a lot of times in the story, we kind of build up to that moment. But it's really cool that we jump in right with that moment and someone kind of being open and honest about love. So it's a heck of a kind of attention grabber and a heck of a place to start. So, tip of the hat to that. That's very cool. We've read a lot of comics, but that's the first I've kind of seen that happen. So pretty cool, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I come from a background of actually performing improv comedy. I live in Chicago. I've performed improv comedy.
Really?
Right? I performed comedy for about 10 years, and one rule that I always was taught was always start in the middle of a scene.
Oh, yeah, man.
Always start in the middle. Get me out of here. I see that. I don't do it anymore, but yeah.
There's a strong improv quotient here.
Oh, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
Podcast, but we're New York flavored improv, so it's...
okay.
Yeah, so you carry it like this, like you fold it like that in the middle.
And I carry it like this, I got to use a knife and a fork.
Barely even improv, come on.
Yeah, your improv hot dogs have too much shit on them, let me
Hey, I'm not from Chicago, and I agree. I just live in Chicago.
Can you talk a little bit
Lovely
about the
town.
team you have here? I love the art in particular, and the colors I thought really popped very nicely throughout. What was it like putting them together? Had you worked with them before? Did you recruit them for this project?
It was a long time coming. So I worked first. I worked with Krista Harroder, Cabbage Comics, who people might know of, a fantastic editor, and we got the script really in shape while we continued to look for art. And I knew when I wrote this, actually, I listened to on repeat Daft Punk albums. So the art and the colors and the feel of it has just really been based in a Daft Punk album. So I knew that when we wanted to find the artist, it had to have a lot of energy that just jumped off the page. And once I found Brian's stuff, I knew it. I knew it was right. I was like, just the way he does his lines and the way that he can blur the lines to emphasize, how fast things are going and the energy. And he brings sort of kind of like a heightened anime type of style to it, which I knew I definitely wanted. You'll see in the book when the captain gets really pissed, there's this great shot of him like slamming down on the desk, and you can just feel the power that comes from it. So once we kind of solidified the script, it was all about finding the artist, and then we went and we found Brian, and then that's where we just kind of took off from there. And he was incredible to work with, super quick, super open to suggestions. Also, my favorite part about working with an artist, and anytime I get to, is I tell him like, here's the script, and I write it in a very kind of traditional comics, not Marvel way, but like panel descriptions. But I say, but please, like, you're the artist. If you see a much cooler way to do this, like, go for it. And he was not afraid to do that. A lot of the really great panel options where they're kind of like accordion down the down the page. That was all him. So he's very much just like a co-creator of this, and the colors. The colors were all about, he asked me for some inspiration, and I sent him, like Daft Punk albums. I sent him just like some vibrant colors. I just said, make this as vibrant as we can. So it was all about those.
Alex, I don't know if you're checking the stats, but I think we got some breaking news over here.
We do have some breaking
news. Oh my gosh.
The breaking news is you have just passed your Kickstarter goal.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is incredible. I made sure that it wouldn't happen until this show.
I don't know how you did that. You were telling people, no, save your money. Save it for Tuesday.
Thank you to everyone so much. That is so incredible. I appreciate it.
So that's wait. Now you have to talk about what your stretch goal is. You made your goal. Move past that.
Alex, let's enjoy this moment.
No, don't say the moment.
Exactly. Hold on, let me Google good stretch goals.
This is great. Congratulations, you're going to make your project. Now, the downside is you actually have to make your project.
The plus side is that it's made. That's the best part, is that the book is finished. And so this Kickstarter was just for shipping and printing, and we got,
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm very lucky that I was able to do that, and I'm very excited. So thank you to everyone that, backed it and everything. This is great.
If you don't mind, I'd like to back up the truck a little bit here. I'd like to know how you went from doing improv to making comics. Did you start writing because of the scene work? Have you always been writing on the side a little bit? Can you kind of break it?
Was improv the day job you were trying to get out of?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You got to say no
to that day job.
No. It's actually, I finally started getting paid to do improv, and then I decided to quit. No.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it all really kind of led into itself. I've always been a huge collector and fan of comics since high school, up in Appleton, Wisconsin, where I was from.
Nice.
Yep. And and then I came to college and focused on, I was also an athlete, so I focused on like playing soccer in college where I played. And then once I got out of college and I moved to Chicago, I really focused on improv, and that's really where I took off on writing. But like you mentioned, it was mostly focused on writing video sketches, writing sketches for the stage, writing pilot scripts, that kind of stuff, all while just constantly still buying comics and reading and loving comics and collecting them. And then probably 6 years ago, I don't know what comic it was, but actually I do. I think it was like Bendis's Daredevil, his collected one. He put a script in the back, and that was the first time I've ever seen a comic script where I was like, why did I never think about how these were written ever in my time? But so once I saw that, I was like, that sounds really cool, and I just kind of started toying around with it. And I noticed that every time I would read a comic, I would think of Bendis's script, and I would kind of put the script in my head as I read it. Like, okay, panel 1, the description of this is probably this, and then it just kind of kept eating away at me, and I just kept kind of creating ideas. I probably wrote probably 20, 30 comics before I ever actually like tried getting one made or kickstarted one. So yeah, it all started from improv, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we met. This is an often told story, but the three of us met in a improv theater here.
And some of my best friends that I still have, I would say actually my best friends that I have are improv people. So
I mean, I wouldn't say that specifically
I'd say
about
some
this,
of
but
I'd say more acquaintances than friends.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody last night about learning the format of writing a comic, because we spend so much time reading comics, so it is intuitive. But then when you get put on the spot and you're finally making something, it's like, oh no, I don't quite know how to do this. And you do have to sort of trick, but it feels like the skill is sort of underneath there, at least a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I benefit, and you guys probably understand this too, is at least not to get into improv theory, because I absolutely hate talking about improv.
No, that's what the crowd wants to hear. They're here for that.
Especially Nat.
Yeah, especially, but there's just like, there's this idea of writing stuff through doing the improvisational in your head. So like that's what my dialogue is. When I'm writing a dialogue, I'm essentially improvising the scene between the two characters on that page.
I always used to get made fun of by my writing partner when he'd look over at me at the laptop and I'd be like, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just writing."
I'm just writing, man. Mind your business.
With your
Mind your
hands?
business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Well, Eddie, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, man. So happy
That's
for
so
you.
awesome. I'm so excited for you. How long, regardless, people still can pledge. So you have like another 17 days at this point.
Yeah.
For anybody not looking at the Kickstarter right now, what can you get? What can you expect to get from the Kickstarter?
Yeah, we have a lot of great things. I was very lucky to work with a lot of some of my favorite current like indie artists to do a lot of prints. You might recognize names like Fellhound, who did Commander Rao. They did a great print, an abbed out print, very famous for their abbed out prints in commissions. Yeah. So we got the two characters decked with 6-packs.
It's also great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
They truly abbed out.
Abbed out to the T's. We also have some great stickers done by Darren Voigt, who's a great animator. That you can pick up as an add-on. We have 2 different variant covers. Very proud. One of them is with Damon Hampton, who was my first ever collaborator, who was just recently in the DC. Why did I just forget what it's called? Just worked with DC. I can't remember what the program is called, and I feel terrible.
Hall of Fame?
No, where they bring in creators of marginalized communities or color. I can't remember. I'm terrible at remembering things, but got to work with him again, which I'm very excited about. So we have several variant covers, add-ons from incredible indie artists, and then you can also, there is, I believe, one left to get a black and white commission done by the artist Brian, which as I mentioned, if you're looking for a crazy energy-filled commission of your favorite character, definitely pick that one up because I truly believe that he will blow up soon.
Cool. And at the $1,000 level, you do a 3-hour Herald workshop.
Yeah, just a one.
Yeah, by myself. Yeah, if anybody wants a Herald workshop, and then we all just like walk into Lake Michigan together.
Oh, nice. Man.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, thank you again so much. Congratulations, appreciate it, and good luck with the project.
Thank you guys. Yeah, well, I couldn't have done it without you, and I truly mean that. And thank you guys.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you guys for everything you do for the comic community. I think bringing on creators like myself really goes a long way. So thank you, thank you to everyone watching. So I appreciate it.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Have a good night, Eddie.
Take care, guys.
All right. There we go. Once again,
Improv the comic books. Come on.
Called Space Pilots. The creator is Eddie Klinker. Definitely check it out. It's great. Guys, I'm going to turn it over to you for a bit because I'm chatting with our other guest, trying to figure out how to get
in person?
So, no, not in person. Yeah, he's just over there. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Nice.
So you guys take it away. Talk about, I don't know, how your weekends
were. Well, yeah, Pete and I have nothing.
Yeah.
We ever talked one-on-one?
No, definitely. What's tough is a lot of times, though, guests will show up at Zelbin's house, and we have to kind of,
I know.
do the old
this is a virtual meetup.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, let me say, on reading the Space Pilot stuff, I feel like I was reminded of Bucky O'Hare. I thought for sure you were going to make a Bucky O'Hare connect there.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, that's some quality stuff there.
Yeah.
Did you guys run out of things to talk about after Bucky O'Hare? Is that what just happened?
Well, I was trying to get Eddie to drop. I was talking to him, but I also wanted Eddie to drop the link to the thing in the comments so people could check it out.
I asked you just to fill in for 2 minutes.
I tried to start a conversation. Pete,
I started typing, so my bad. I was just trying to get Eddie.
Bucky O'Hare. I was like, wow. It's not like we're married. We've been married for 2 months.
That you guys can talk about for 2 minutes, maybe. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania tickets went on sale today. You guys want to talk about what you're anticipating with the movie and whether you're going to pick up tickets, see it in theaters, what your plans on there. Take it away while I try to figure this out.
He doesn't ever stop hosting. He's throwing topics. He'd be a great matchmaker. We should get him on some sort of dating situation.
Yeah. Right. Or if you guys want to talk about Bucky O'Hare, go ahead.
Oh, Captain Bucky O'Hare, dude! You remember that? Oh man, what a great cartoon! What also a great comic as well.
That's Crocus
Larry,
and Toads.
Yeah, Larry Hama. I mean, come on, man. What more do you need?
Pete, did you buy some Quantumania ticks yet? Or are you waiting for?
Not yet. What's nice about where I am out here, the movie theater isn't packed. So
sorry, you said where I ham, right? That's what you mean.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Where you're there to.
I'm hungry and I'm thinking about ham a lot, so I apologize.
What am I up to? I'm just out where I hamming. Here I am hamming
out.
Larry Hama. So you don't have to worry about sold out
That's right.
theaters, you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I can
nice.
take my time, get them when I need them, and then show up. Usually have the theater myself.
Wow, to yourself. I haven't bought tickets yet. I am excited for the movie, but I'm going to sneak in the morning, whatever the earliest screening is. That's
Aren't you worried about the kids though? Just screaming the
That's
whole
what I'm
time.
saying. No, they're not coming. I go early.
But usually the early times are packed with kids in the movie theater. Is my point.
Oh, Adam, I'm on my phone for most of the movie anyway, so I don't really mind.
God.
Just kidding. Listen, that's only something to roast Pete because that's all he ever talks about. So I one time took a call in the movie. I took one call. I stepped out.
You don't take a call in a movie theater. You know what I mean? Take it easy, Hollywood. I know you're a big deal and you produce a lot of lines, but you don't have to take a phone call in a fucking movie theater. That's sacrilege, bro.
We were watching some garbage movie probably, and I took a quick call. Pete, at least we were sitting next to each other. That's the last.
That's the last time, yeah. And you wonder why we never. Yeah.
Question from longtime listener, first time commenter Nat Towson. Yeah. Is that what Pete thinks a line producer is? The person who creates the lines, aka the screenwriter. And I think that's what Pete is secretly calling me a writer, I think, when he says line producer.
I appreciate the care that Nat took in that bit. But yeah, unfortunately I've worked in television too long to think about it as any other thing. But that is a very creative way to go about describing one of your hats that you wear on the production side.
Tell everyone your first TV job, Pete. I feel like people don't know the depth and breadth of shit you've done in this world.
Man, the first job I got in television.
Let me say this: definitely IMDb Pete LePage. You'll get some.
I've worked on a lot of different shows. Comedy Central's TV Funhouse back in the day that used to be on SNL. Yeah. It was its own separate show. That was insane. The Chris Rock show I worked on.
Yeah, he's got a storied history. You worked on Colin Quinn's show, Tough Crowd, for a bit.
Oh yeah, that was great. He used to let me. He used to let me do stand up. Like he would come out and do some warm up stuff for the crowd for like 10 minutes. But if I wanted to do stand up, he would do 5 and then introduce me. He's the coolest guy. He was so nice.
Cool. I love
anybody on the show could pitch ideas for jokes. Anybody. I mean, you could work in catering. You could, whatever, be a security guard. If you had bits that you wanted to, he was open to anything. It was a really unbelievable atmosphere.
That's cool. He has a show right now, I think, in New York, if anyone, not to plug Colin Quinn.
Yeah, him and Jerry Seinfeld had teamed up, and they've been doing like a bunch of like Colin plays that he like directs and stuff. And
he's a big theater guy.
Yeah, It was funny because Jerry would, I don't know Jerry Seinfeld, so to call him Jerry is weird, but Mr. Seinfeld would come over all the time for the show, and they would work out bits and stuff, and like, he was always pitching theater ideas to him. It was pretty funny.
That's funny. Like a production of Les Mis.
Yeah, they did a thing on the rooftops that was all like West Side Story and stuff like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Alex, have you hacked the mainframe?
We're working on it. We're working on it. I'll tell you what, while I'm still working on, since you've run out of stuff to talk about.
No, I was just checking in. Okay, we got into this deep stuff. We were looking at your face this whole time.
Yeah.
You look like you're in the movie The Net starring Sandra Bullock.
Enhance.
Yeah. Still working on it with Paul. But I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to ask a question in Q&A over here on Crowdcast, at least you can drop it here and I can bring them up. They can be questions about actually anything. I will mention we actually got one over on Facebook, if you can believe it. This is from Dean Delp. Says,
What's up,
Pete,
Dean?
You will shit your pants.
That's the end of the question. That's it. That's more of a prediction.
Yeah, it was
That's
an
a
oracle,
prediction.
I think. You will shit your pants if you watch the Netflix movie Hereditary. I say that because I know from your past comments about how creeped out you are over creepy dollhouses, and that movie is full of them. That's all.
Well, first off, what up, Dean? Secondly, Yeah, no, thank you. Have you guys seen that new? It's like a commercial where this family goes to stay in this place, and it's a bed full of creepy dolls, and then like like a head moves, and one of the dolls starts talking. Oh my god, I can't watch that commercial. It's so fucking scary.
I think that's just a dream that you're having.
That would be awful.
That's something that's definitely. I mean, Pete doesn't like scary movies. It's true. And Hereditary was Ari Aster, I believe, the director, and those movies are scary. Same director for Midsommar.
I'll tell you what, I've been too scared to watch Hereditary because people said it was the scariest movie of all time. But Midsommar, and maybe this is a weird thing to say, I thought was kind of funny. Like purposefully funny.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it was horrifying at points,
sure,
but also it was funny too.
Yes. So I was very.
I would argue.
About that. Yeah, go ahead.
Hereditary is scary. I think the trailer is actually scarier than the movie. The trailer for Hereditary is so good, like textbook, great trailer. But the actual movie, I think is still so good, but it gets into some other things and a bunch of stuff happens. But I don't need to spoil that. Nat Townsend asks, "What is the weirdest TV job I had?"
Yeah,
and I guess it was.
Or what's
I've done a
what's
lot
some interesting?
Of weird ones.
Yeah, what's some interesting? I remember that gum thing you did where you and a buddy like traveled around the country doing a gum commercial. That was really cool.
We did a commercial for Trident, the web ventures of Justin and Alden.
Yeah, Alden,
which had,
who is now Verizon rich, dude. That dude is in every commercial now.
He's currently the voice of Verizon.
I went from being like, "Hey," to now like, "All right, Alden, shut the fuck up, man."
Exactly. Keep cashing in. Alden Ford is the friend we're talking about, who you may know if you listen to the podcast Mission to Zix, another great and improvised.
He's been on a bunch of times. We've had him on.
Yeah. Great show. I do a voice on Zix. Yes.
No, we have a question.
Sorry, Alex. We're busy talking. Okay. There's something.
All right, we got a question.
Just raise your hand.
From Kevin, what are some of your favorite comics or characters that have the same name as a more famous unrelated one?
What?
I don't know. I don't get this. What are some of your favorite comics?
You said that so confidently.
I did.
But
I'm doing a lot of stuff here right now. What are some of your favorite comics or characters who have the same name as a more famous unrelated one? Oh, I think he's saying like comics like comedians.
Oh. I still don't quite know what the question is.
What? Wait, so he's asking about comics that we know that then went on to blow up? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. What are some of your favorite comics? This is like scripture.
I think it's a riddle. It's sort of a riddle.
What are some of your favorite comics or characters who have the same name as a more famous unrelated one?
It's talking about like
more famous Justin,
like Spider-Man, and then like another spider, like a
Spiderman.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, you're here in the comments. Just explain what you're talking about.
I mean, honestly, if anyone in our comments are going to become the Riddler, it's Kevin.
Oh, Captain Marvel would be an example, especially the non-Marvel or DC ones. Oh, okay. What?
So an example of a comic that also has another. Stray Bullet says absolutely. I'm losing my mind right now.
I know. I do feel like between Alex, dude, Alex hacking the mainframe in this question, I'm just like, I'm losing it. So that would be like the
all right, like Thor. That's a good example. That says Thor, sure.
I mean, this is something that's come up a little bit recently in a comic that I think we're reviewing for the Stack. The recent Namor comic has Frankenstein in it, and there's a Frankenstein in DC. There's a Frankenstein in Marvel, and it's sort of like
and the Mike Mignola Frankenstein as well,
and the Mignola. Like there's a Frankenstein all over the place, and they're always big swings. It feels like the DC Frankenstein is probably my favorite of that.
I gotta say, Mary Shelley's is probably my favorite.
Oh, the book?
Oh,
yeah. You like the original book?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite line, real quick, or chapter from the original book?
How dare you?
That's good. Yeah. And I love the performance of it. The townspeople. You're doing the townspeople.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
How dare you, Dr. Frankenstein? Oh, Franken Castle, someone in the comments.
Yeah, I was hoping we could go past that. Hey, you didn't answer the question about your favorite TV job or weirdest TV job or fun story about when you worked in television.
I did live. I wrote wrote host copy for a dating show on Lifetime where I guess 7 different blind dates were happening in 4 different cities around the country, and it was all happening live. And we had to write jokes about the dating situations in the moment for the host to then say that job was great.
I was I taught improv on a blind date episode.
I remember that as well. The name of the show was Blind Date, right?
Yeah, the TV show Blind Date. One of them was they went to an improv theater,
and they found you.
Yeah,
talk about a matchmaker.
I tell you, it was a lot of fun, and I felt like it was because I've seen a bunch of different like dates or whatever, and I think it was fun to kind of see people have to do something silly where they're not comfortable, so it kind of you get to see a little glimpse of who they really are.
Yeah. Anyone who can find the Pete LePage blind date episode, post it in the comments, or who can find my episode with John Gabers, friend of the show, of Cash Cab that we did.
Oh wow, Cash Cab.
Yep. Would love to see that. Very young versions of ourselves, no doubt.
So your whole life.
One of the weirdest live shows I ever did. One last one is I did improv between fights at a boxing ring on the Upper West Side of the city. It was not well received.
Wow.
This is. Are we just talking about weird jobs we've had?
I guess so. If you want to jump in,
entertainment.
I mean, I don't even know if I got paid for it necessarily, but I was we had the guy on Comic Book Club. I forgot about this, but I was the announcer for a Quidditch match, a real Quidditch match.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we had him on Comic Book Club before or after. I don't remember which.
A couple of years after you did that, I also did that. That was wild. Everyone was wasted who was commentating the year I did it.
I remember when they wanted like improv people to be like referees for like Quidditch matches and stuff like that, and commentators and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a big call for that. And I was just like, oh man, I have to learn this thing.
Well, we got another question here. This is from Stray Bullet. What do you think needs to be made into a Lego set that hasn't been made yet, asking for a multi-billion-dollar company?
Lego set. I mean, I feel like they're doing pretty well at covering the Lego bases with their Lego stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Lego Batman was unbelievable. I mean, Lego's doing great, you know.
What about the Lego Hereditary trailer? You think there's any juice there?
I worked at the Lego store, or not the Lego store, but the Lego section of FAO Shores.
I feel like it would be easy to do a Hereditary set. Easy to do a Hereditary set. They have a lot of loose heads everywhere in a Lego set, usually, right?
I mean, I guess technically all Lego sets are Hereditary themed sets, themed boxes. What about?
I don't know. How about a cheap Lego set? How about that? That's my big bar.
Wow, look at this guy. Old dad over here is like, I mean, they are expensive. I agree. But the parts are so tiny.
Yes, they are, and they hurt when you step on them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get those Lego flip-flops.
Well, I'm trying one last thing with Paul here, but it looks like he may not be able to make it into the stream, unfortunately, which is a real bummer. If so, I'm going to keep working on it in the background. But just to mention, just in case, because I do think this book is very cool, even if he isn't able to make it, you can head to Zoop to check out Pink Midnight Presents The Butterfly House. It's really awesome, very creepy book. Yeah. I don't want to spoil too much about it. But
so well designed,
beautifully drawn.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about that for a second while I try one last thing to figure it out?
Sure.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really drawn in by this because of the just kind of the art style is so cool, and also I love the title. You don't really know what you're kind of getting right away. It does a great job of kind of like sucking you into this very interesting world, and the art is so unique and very cool. Yeah, I mean, would definitely recommend checking it out. It's a fantastic project, and looking forward to it coming out.
It has it has like, I wouldn't call it full on horror. It's like horror, thriller, magical realism kind of ideas all mixed in here. But it's really beautifully drawn. It's black and white, and it's so perfectly black and white. I feel like a hard thing to be like, yes, just what I wanted is a book drawn in this style. And it's completely wordless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it really is just like, it's all about, I know, Pete's put that on a t-shirt. Pete LePage, fuck words. But it is like, the story is told so well through just the visuals. So it's a great read. I was really happy to check it out.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's part of a anthology as well that kicks off with this book. So definitely check it out. It's going to be on Zoop for the next while. It looks like it has 2,213 out of the supported. It's looking for 4,000, so it's getting there, and it got 29 days left. So plenty of time to check it out, but pledge it right now because it's absolutely worth it. Much apologies to Paul that we weren't able to work it out with this horrible platform, and apologies to anybody listening or watching who...
the whole show goes dead, as Alex says that.
I mean, it's a bummer. We love Paul's G.I. Joe run. Is absolutely phenomenal.
So
did some ratings
one of our favorite.
Yes, absolutely. So please check that out. Also, Power Rangers,
Rangers too. Yeah,
all of that stuff. But this is a very different sort of project, and you should definitely check it out. So bummer, but we do have, I believe, one more question here in the meantime, and then maybe we can wrap this up. We got from Nat. Who are your favorite comic book characters who are animals? I don't know.
Great question.
Wolverine.
Yeah, he doesn't spend a lot of time in his Wolverine form. Now, do you feel like a Wolverine is like a small wolf?
He meant literal animals. Yeah. I always what's the name of Supergirl's horse? Is that Streaky?
No idea.
You said superhero's horse?
Supergirl's horse.
Supergirl's horse. Oh.
Yeah, Streaky was the cat. Kevin, this is my point. Kevin says Streaky was the cat. I always forget the horse's name, and I always think the horse's name is Streaky, but it's not. Streaky is the cat. Comet. Yes, there you go. Comet is the horse. Too many animals. Too many animals in the super family. I'm just going to say that.
Wow. Why? Everyone gets an animal.
I don't know. It's not a Disney movie. Great. Come on.
Wow.
Love Bat Cow.
Rocket.
Bat Cow's great.
I mean, I feel like the super animals, just, it's like a fun bit. But when all of a sudden it's like there's a whole storyline revolving around the animals, that's when I'm a little like, did we really need to do all that?
Paul is actually in the comments over on YouTube, says, if I was there, I'd be saying Uncle Scrooge or my dog's cameo in one issue of G.I. Joe. Great choices, both of those.
Great. Nice. Paul's over on YouTube. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Okay, just switching it on over there. Oh, this makes me feel so bad. I feel so bad. Okay, we got one other question from Stray Beans, actually. Question, what are your thoughts or comments on Dan Clowes? I just got the complete 8-ball collection. Would recommend. Would you guys recommend Dan Clowes?
Wow, nice. Yes, I like Dan Clowes. That's the sort of an area of comics we don't really talk about too much on the show. Maybe we should occasionally just dip into some of that.
You don't think it'll be too much culture shock? We'll be like, where are the guys in tights? Why aren't they fighting? I don't understand.
Well, as long as that's our commentary every time we read it.
Yeah. Oh, good. We have more questions here. We have another one. This is from Nelson Martinez. Have you guys watched the first episode of The Last of Us? Thoughts? And have any of you tried the game by any chance?
I did watch the show, the pilot. I thought it was cool. I haven't played the game, and it seems like the game is like a full-on revelation, the way people are talking about it in relation to the TV show. It's funny, watching the show, I thought the the opening sequence was really cool, and some of the set pieces were awesome. It did feel a lot like Walking Dead, though. And I know that's like sort of a cheap comment, but I was surprised how much it felt like Walking Dead is maybe a better.
Can you, for those of us not familiar, is it just a post-apocalyptic zombie movie, or what's the...
It's a series, and yes, it is.
So, yeah, it's basically the twist here is it's fungus zombies, essentially.
Oh, fungus zombies.
Fungus zombies. So the twist is that it's supposed to be a little more realistic because it's not the dead coming back to life. It's fungus, and it's a real fungus called cordyceps that takes over animals' brains, and somehow it's made the leap from animals to humans in the show and in the video game series. So it drives them kind of insane, and they run after people and want to infect them with the cordyceps because fungus's main job is to reproduce. So it makes logical sense in terms of there. I do agree with you, Justin. I'll mention, I also have not played the game. I also had high anticipation when people who were like, this is the most incredible story ever told in sci-fi, the best video game of all time. So beat for beat, like you're saying, it's Walking Dead, it's other zombie movies, it's 28 Days Later. Feels like A Quiet Place at certain points as well, but without the aliens or anything. So there's a lot of stuff there in the first couple of episodes where I was like, come on, let's get to it. We know we're going to get to it. I also felt like, and this is very weird, this may just be from knowing it comes from a video game, but there felt like points where they were going into okay, this is a playable section we're going into now.
Yeah.
Well, there's, and this is a little spoiler, but that thing where they're hiding out in the pipe and they're dodging lights and they're like, come on, Joel, you got to go, Joel. Come on, go now. I was like, this is video game now. What's happening here?
I thought it was weird when every couple scenes they would stop and save over the course of the episode. I feel like that's unnecessary.
Yeah, the point where they were just sort of standing there for a while, sort of rocking back and forth for hours while I went and got a sandwich, that was pretty weird too.
I mean, that's dope though. It's better than a commercial.
Again, having seen the whole season, and this is not spoilers at all, I feel like the pacing of it is a little weird to me, but once I don't want to spoil anything.
It's you're very
no. But I think once it actually gets to the story, you know that they're going to get to. I liked it. Pedro Pascal is good. Bella Ramsey is phenomenal as Ellie. But it still doesn't feel like it's necessarily breaking any new ground in terms of TV. And I imagine that the thing that made it different is when you are playing a video game, you are that character. You're living with the character. Yeah. And there's a certain level of separation when you're watching a TV show because they are performing it for you. So maybe that's the difference there.
But I do think I'm in the mood to watch a really good zombie show. So this is great. And it also makes me think it's HBO being yes, we could have made Walking Dead back in the day and we regret not doing it. So we're definitely going to do this.
Can I mention something about that? Because I've seen a lot of reviews take the angle of it's Walking Dead, but good. I think everybody forgets that Walking Dead was good. The pilot is phenomenal of Walking Dead. Yeah. It got a little wonky with the CDC stuff at the end of the first season, but there were seasons there where it was a really good show.
Yeah, Michonne was unbelievable.
Yes. So it's frustrating to me as a fan of Walking Dead and as a fan of material to hear that compared there. I understand the comparison, but I don't know. They can both exist. It's okay.
I agree. And I think that I think people have just Walking Dead burnout. I feel like everyone's tolerance was different. Everyone on the show's tolerance was different, except yours, Alex, seems to be impeccable, invincible even.
Let's keep going. More Walking Dead, please.
Yeah, you want more. But I definitely flamed out on it. And the parts I remember are the ones where I was like, they're eating his arm or whatever. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, for sure. And I completely get the burnout. It went on way longer than a lot of people had patience for, and I completely get that. But I don't know. I think people are thinking of later seasons instead of the earlier seasons, and it's a little bit of a bummer to read it. It's an easy target, it feels like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, we got a couple more here. Kevin, I'm not going to answer this question.
Justin.
Yes.
Justin, what are you drinking?
Oh, great question. I was drinking some Gruner Veltliner white wine.
I'm sorry, what?
White wine, Gruner Veltliner.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Kevin
What'd
asked
you think I was
favorite
gonna
fungi
say?
in comics. We're not going to answer that one. Sorry, Kevin. You already had your high difficulty question of the show. And we got one more, Pablo D. Martinez, and let's wrap up with the questions here. What do you expect from comics in 2023? Big broad question, but give us your predictions. Give us your oracle prognostications of what 2023 is going to be like in comics.
Oof. I think that we're going to get a big X-Men story, right? This year. I think that will be but we're been a little bit in the desert, I think, for the X-Men. It's a little bit lost, and I think we're going to right the ship a bit with that.
What I'm excited for X-Men is there's a new Storm series that's coming out that's like 80s Mohawk Storm, kind of her punk era Storm. So I'll be interested to maybe that could help steer X-Men and maybe in a better direction. But I think that I'm excited for. There's a lot of great projects coming up, a lot of interesting kind of creative talents behind things that are going to be pushing stuff. So I'm very excited to read. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming out. I'm very excited for it. This is a heck of a time to be reading comics.
Yeah, it's Tom Taylor time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel confident making any big, bold predictions or anything like that about this, but it does feel like there was a significant push over the past year or so for more, not even independent comics, but personally produced comics. Maybe that's the way to put it. Like we had the whole Substack thing. We had a lot of reactions to coming out of the stoppage from COVID and people realizing I can't depend on these big companies. I got to do some stuff myself. We got these great platforms like Zoop that we've been talking to and having a bunch of good, great guests on, and a bunch of others like that, sort of like independent, more curated Kickstarter type platforms. And I'm curious to see if that grows in the new year. I feel like over the course of these 16 plus years we've been doing this show, we've always seen these burgeoning indie ideas and people pushing their own things, and then they always get subsumed into something. I think we'll see that happen in this year. It's going to go one direction or the other. It'll either finally be something that breaks through, or it will be subsumed in some way. My instinct, just based on past experience, goes with the second option. I think we had Kelly Thompson on the previous week, and she was talking about how she had the Substack book, and it was always meant to go to Image Comics. Or we have a lot of like other Substack books are always going to Dark Horse Comics, and it feels like, maybe this is my personal perspective, but that feels like kind of the end goal, whether they meet it or not, you know? So I don't know. I wonder if it'll go in the other direction. I guess we'll see.
Well, I think everybody wants to reach a larger audience, and to do that, you have to really be published, I feel like, is a good way to do that. But the Substack stuff is a way to really build your own fan base and keep them constantly just having access to what you're working on, which is super exciting. And I think that will stay around.
Zalbs, what are you drinking over there?
I put my water over there, and it's too far to reach.
Oh no, are you not feeling well? Are you
yeah,
okay?
I'm a little under the weather.
So you're drinking a distant water, Alex.
I can't though. It's right. It's like, oh, you can't see this. It's like right out of my reach.
Oh man,
what
little T-Rex arms of yours.
You're looking so
dry.
parched.
Oh my god,
Pete.
Well,
Pete, let me be the Pete. Let me be the Pete and ask you what you're drinking right
now. Thank you. I'm drinking Florida Man. It's a new beer that I found that is quite potent and delicious.
Is it true that it's just water and alligator teeth?
Yes. It's once you kind of work past the teeth, the alcohol level. Alligator teeth really gets you fucked up. I don't know if you know about that. People in Florida know that.
Yeah.
You know, you can grind it down, sniff it, do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I've snorted a lot of alligator tooth.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that's it for your audience questions.
Nice.
And now I'm very hesitant to do this, given that everything has been a technical disaster for the past couple of weeks, but it's time for our next section, which is trivia. And for that, we're going to turn it over to Pete LePage.
All right. Hey, I'm here for it. It's actually happening.
Right. Yeah, hand up guy Pablo going hard.
Pablo's a hand up guy? All right, let's get it. Let's get Pablo in there. This is the part we give back to the lovely audience. It's an opportunity for not only a Long John.
Wait, hold on. Pablo, put your headphones in. Otherwise, it's going to be a horrible echo. Do it now. Quickly.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
is an opportunity to win Long John Silver's gift card, but you could also get a Midtown Comics gift card as well. Wow. Really depends on if you're hungry or if you want to read comics.
Yeah, or both. I don't know. Maybe you can get 50-50.
$12.50 each.
$12.50 each. It sounds like Pablo.
Pablo's coming at us from a campfire.
Come on now.
Hey, Pablo.
Pablo.
I'm good.
Great. All right, why don't we do this? There's going to be a terrible echo. Pablo, turn down your volume a little bit.
How's that?
Sounds.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
We'll roll with it. Take it away, Pete.
All right, great. Today's trivia is on topical comic news and a small nod to Bob Penny, R.I.P. Please listen to all three options before making your selection. Question number 1. What TV show's new season is being called the most disgusting thing ever? Is it A, The Boys, Season 4, B, Uzi Space, Season 1, or C, Susie Base, Season 44? Just say A, Pablo.
A. Sorry.
All right, nice job. That is correct. The Boys Season 4 is being dubbed the most disgusting thing ever. So that should be fun television. Question number 2. DC's new superhero coming out of Lazarus Planet is called Blank. Oh, we got a little dog shout out. Shout out to Pablo's dog. Oh, hey.
That is a little dog.
Hey, yeah, you can tell by the bark it's a small dog.
I'm here.
Hey, adorable dog. All right, so new superhero is called Blank. Is it A, Circuit Breaker, B, Don't Kill My Rooster, or C, Atom Booster? So it's either A, so we can continue this madness, or you could be wrong.
It's A.
A is correct.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Last one. What Marvel character is getting a new solo flashback series? Is it A, Punk Era Storm, B, Michael Myers, or C, Pauline Myers?
Oh, you guys talked about it earlier. It's the Punk Era Storm.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All A's for Pablo.
And Pablo, do you want a gift card to Midtown Comics or Long John Silver's?
I'll take the gift card from Midtown Comics.
Ooh, we have a weird reversal here where it has to be from Long John Silver's. I'm sorry, you got tricked once again. I'm kidding, Pablo. Send us an email and we will get you all set up. Great seeing you. Great seeing your dog. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
Later.
There we go. Now, as we all know, comics are cool and they're coming out and you can't stop them. So what are you looking forward to, Pete?
Well, first I wanted to just plug that I was referencing the 1992 banger, My Cousin Vinny.
Why do I always forget that you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Haha! Success after all. Hello, Comic Book Club.
Did you just force your way in? What's going on?
Welcome, Gotham. See.
If you've been a guest on the show, you can just bump your way in. Is that what it is?
It's like a vampire, Alex. You invited him in.
I absolutely
terrible.
did not. Justin, did you invite him in?
This platform is terrible.
I don't think I have that power.
No,
Yes,
I
you
don't
do.
think so. I
Yeah,
think you guys have completely lost control. Try changing the channel. I'm on every channel.
Nat, what are
Derek just says, everyone rush the podcast. We could all be on.
I need to get out of here. Nat, what are you looking forward to that's coming out this week?
Oh man, I was gonna check out The Storm Has a Mohawk.
Nice.
I gotta say I was winging this. I did not expect to get in.
Well, it's nice to see your
We got you this
your
time.
creative studio that you're in there.
Yeah, I got that Lukey McGarry Seinfeld print right there.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Sorry, just to ask you guys, do I remove attendee or ban user?
Ban user.
I'll find a way around it.
You probably will. Unregister attendee from event.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
You get rid of one of me, there's just gonna be another 10 of me in the chat.
Oh man,
my God.
this guy's like
This is
Hydra.
terrible.
Revolution's an idea, Alex. You can't kill an idea.
Okay, I can remove you from the stage. Get out of here, Nat.
Hey, he did it.
All right, Pete, quick. What are you looking forward to before he works his way back?
This might be surprising, guys, but I'm looking forward to Punisher number 9 and Hulk number 11.
Oh, interesting choices for no reason
Justin,
at all.
what about you?
You know I got to give it up for Nightwing number 100.
Oh man,
Come on.
get right. You got to have a crying bib for that one because it's emotional.
Legit cried.
Yeah.
During. So.
Lots of great stuff coming out tomorrow. I'll give a shout out to Art Brute number 2 from Image Comics.
Yeah,
another great book.
Maximal Prince, Martin Morazzo.
The art on that,
radical art
beautiful.
crimes, and I was very excited to check this out after the first issue. And of course, we love the team. Also, the other one that I wanted to give a shout out to, Chroma number 3, also from Image Comics. This book has been absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really looking forward to where it goes. We're going to be talking about all the...
Derek Mainhart, real quick, sorry, one other. Derek Mainhart in the comments, new champion of Shazam 4.
Yes.
That was such a great read. Really enjoyed that Shazam.
Also,
I'm not a Shazam guy. This was one of the best Shazam stories I've read in so long.
Nat also, Wasp number 1 by Al Ewing is great as well.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to that too because the Ant-Man series that Al Ewing did was so good.
Yeah.
So very exciting stuff across the board. All of that is going to be in our Stack podcast that comes out Wednesday 9 a.m. in the Comic Book Club feed.
Is that every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
Wow.
So far.
And its own dedicated Stack feed. And folks, that is it for this week's Smooth Sailing Show.
Alex had a tough show. I got to get down with my guy Pete, talk about some stuff that had no bearing on comic books. Yeah.
Thank you to Eddie Klinker for coming on the show. Definitely check out Space Pilots on Kickstarter. Also, thank you to Paul Allor for trying very, very hard for almost an hour to get into the show despite it not working. Definitely check out Pink Midnight Presents the Butterfly House over on Zoom because it is absolutely awesome.
Really
Next
is.
week on the show, Matt Kint is going to be back.
Oh!
Spy Superb, and maybe we can get out a little bit about the end of Berserker as well. Very curious to talk to him about that. So that should be very cool. If you want to support the show and all the shows we do, patreon.com/Comic Book Club. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Android, Spotify, Stitcher, or the app of your choice. At Comic Book Live on Twitter, Comic Book Club Live on Instagram and TikTok, comicbookclublive.com for this podcast and many more. Until next time, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Take care of yourself out there.
So wrap your written hammer. Don't be late for it, 'cause their girlfriends get barely tolerated.
How many gnats are there? Kick out all the gnats.
There's now a gnats in this. GNATs in this.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.